Blue Balls Incident is a mod that all of you know I was dreading making a video about, but do you know why? Because I'm a very vocal critic and the Friday Night Funkin' community does not like people who critique mods. I think as it stands, Blue Balls Incident is heavily flawed and can be fixed with some quality of play adjustments and just a little bit of nerfing. As it stands though, Malicious has seemed to move on from Blue Balls Incident, working on some other project. The primary reason why it took so long for me to make this video is because I wanted to give Mal a chance to add some of the features I think would be beneficial. I sent them a request on Twitter and Game Banana, and it looks like I was overrun by a crowd, so here I am making my thoughts known. We can get into gameplay in a bit, but first I should give you some overview for those who never knew. Blue Balls Incident, or Trollage Files, was a mod with 4 to 5 songs released a little over 6 months ago. An amazing mod already with so much potential. Even the 5th song that in my opinion got ruined in this update, we'll get to that, is super fun in the original, and then Mal went on a half-year-long quest to make Blue Balls Incident, now known as Trollage Files, as good as possible. And they succeeded in most ways, but again, we'll get to that very soon. First off, the presentation of the mod, all of it. It's super polished, clean, and looks amazing. Every character is so distinct, even the stairway is slightly distinct from a near identical design with the Smiler. Legion is obviously my favorite. No, I'm not a troll friend simp, I don't love it as much as everyone else. It's good, but Legion is so freaking cool! Setup of the mod is going into a gauntlet of 12 songs, the longest FNF week I've ever seen. It's a little overwhelming, but thankfully if you close the mod, the game has a script that saves your progress. And as of a new update, you can even have an options menu in the pause menu. Even if it's a nightmare to pause, it's a welcome improvement. But that's honestly the main problem with the mod as a whole. There's a lack of options. There's no pussy mode that disables gimmicks you can actually have fun. No scroll speed options because some nut out there thought scroll speed should be a song by song difficulty. You can change your speed in Osu no matter what. Kate Engine lets you change your speed. In fact, the 5th song used to actually be fun because you could change your speed, but we'll get there when we get there. Alright, no more build up. It's time to get into the nitty gritty of this mixed bag of a mod. First off, the tutorial.
3, 2, 1, go!
If you know the kind of hell this mod will put you through, you know you've played this a billion times. I think the song is fine, but the amount of times I've had to play out of spite of this mod's absolute bullcrap is incountable. Now onto some good / actual charts. No offense to the creators, I just got so sick of this song after playing it the billionth time after having to restart again for reasons that will be explained later in the video.
The Trials Containment Foundation asks for your help. Agent Blue Balls. A Trials individual has been detected wandering in your world. Your threat level is low, but you need to be careful. A special microphone made with anti-troll protein will be sent to the mission. Dearly, Durbina.
I remember when I have wake up. Who were all those voices in my head? Those terrible voices that told me to troll. All I have in my mind are memories from. When I woke up, I felt alone. Everything was so cold, so lonely. No one helped me, no one was there for me. I was so alone. But there was something I was sure. I need to find her. Oh my dear princess, what have I done? I'm a monster. I deserve to die. Why? Just beep. What?
3,
3, 2, 1, go!
Sadness is just as fun as it always was. A nice refresher if your first mod for some reason is this Hellstorm. It sounds great, has a much better chart than Update 1, and is actually pretty fun even as an advanced player. This art style is just so distinct from the other mods out there, and it just works so well.
What is the problem of you two? What the hell is the problem with you two? I'm a skeleton monster aberration with a robotic voice. Why are you two not running right now? If you two don't get out of here right now, I will need to force you.
3, 2, 1, go!
Great fun. The sprite changing is so distinct to this one song, it's so crazy. They went from 4 to 5 different full animation sheets, which I never thought was possible in FNF, but here we are. The song itself is so classic, my second favorite from the OG mod, it's real fun. And then near the end, we get the introduction to the true Smiler in the best OG song.
Congratulations. You got exactly what you wanted. My desires. My wishes. All my existence. None of that matters. Oh yes, I finally understand. In the end, everything I needed all this time was so simple. Blue Balls boy. Let's smile together. Let's do a little trolling.
2, 1, go!
Probably the second most fun I've had in the mod. It's just a great chart, great visuals that are never distracting, interesting character animations. It's just as good as it always was, and that moment with the slight health drain is always a great and tense moment. I loved all of Incident. Plus the song itself is an absolute banger.
Stop. I cannot stand it anymore. Just let me suffer in peace.
Daddy?
What was that?
Daddy?
My child, where have you been?
I was just kidding a little bit. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, my dear. The important thing is that you're okay.
I love you.
Me too. My dear daughter, me too. My daughter. What did I do? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Do what you came to do.
It's a great song and would be my favorite if it was just a little longer. It's just real nice, and the chart is a way more fun version than the OG one. Thanks for not messing it up like you did the next one.
From the depths of my soul, I need to say, thank you, my friend. Welcome. Greetings, my dear agent. You don't know how happy I'm to know you're still whole. Just kidding. What do I want here? It's pretty simple. I'm here for the same thing as everyone else. A rep beta. Don't be so apprehensive. We both know you can't wait for this. Let's have fun together. Let's play a game. A fun game. Where there are winners and losers. A game that we can have fun. What do you think, my dear? Let's make a deal. All you have to do is accept. Wonderful. Oh no, it looks like someone forgot to turn the lights on. Let's turn it on together. Oh no, looks like we have a lighting problem. Let's take a little break. Today, our presenter will teach you how to fly. Before we start, go to the blackboard. Hold on. Brotip, you can use magnets to get faster. And now, our presenter will explain how it works. Easy steps to... And now, let's call our special guest. The rain is coming.
Not gonna say its full name, so just call it Stairway. Stairway is the first of many problems that build up and get worse as the mod goes on. First, the gimmick used. In Stairway, you have a tiny troll with an axe right next to your health bar. If you somehow drift under this area, you die instantly, which sounds like a fair gimmick on paper, and yeah, it was. But now, there's notes that throw you down a third of your health bar, so now those notes that were just supposed to be damaging are expurgation notes due to how common the axe trolls are. You see the problem? Expurgation type difficulty in a non-optional song. It wouldn't be as bad if the scroll speed wasn't high, but they couldn't even afford you that luxury. Instead, you're stuck with a frickin' 3+ scroll speed alongside damage notes. There is a reason this isn't done in mods. The engine's accuracy dips into the gutter when you raise scroll speed. This is a known fact of Cade and Meta Engine. And yet they do it anyway. This will come back, oh don't you worry. I need not say this, but every song in this mod is a banger. I just don't like the gameplay of a select few of them.
Don't you like the dark? So, maybe I should turn on the lights. Welcome back, honey. Did you miss me? Of course not. Why am I so small? Oh, it's just a fluke. Actually, I must say this window is terribly comfortable. Why are you complaining so much? I can't sing. I can't dance. All I did was try to balance things out. Your memories, your experiences, your fears, your desires. If you really want to beat me, you'll have to beat yourself first. Seems to me that you are quite fond of clowns, don't you? So maybe this is the perfect opportunity. And just one last thing. Don't play dumb with me. We both know exactly what you're capable of. So go ahead and die over and over again. 3, 2, 1. Start recording. So, can we start today's interview? I will take this as a yes. Well, can you ask me if you remember your name? Your name. Could you tell me your name? Yes, Jacob. That's your name, right? Jacob. Do you remember why you were here? Looks like we're finally making some progress after the searching try. Huh? Where is it? Sir Jacob? Oh shit. He's using his powers. We're gonna have to stop the interview here. I will avenge them. Even if I have to become a monster.
Dude, I'm so mixed on this song. On one hand, the chart has no insta-kill notes like Stairway, but on the other hand, the health bar gimmick is super confusing, and I don't know if it's actually possible to die. This is the first one where I'm kind of on both sides. The song is difficult but fair, and yet at the same time confusing and unfair. I beat it first try on every attempt, and I straight up don't know why. It's also only the same 3 charts repeated the entire time. Why is this song so weird? I get that it's about a clown, but come on!
You know, I love stories. I personally consider myself a real connoisseur. Unfortunately, those people took me out of my world and didn't even give me a single book to read. Oh, don't you want to hear my magnificent sad monologue? Don't be impatient, little blue balls boy. The time we spent together was so much fun. Okay. You beat me, so I have to keep my part of the deal. Just don't regret it. The silence. You have no idea how much I love this deep silence. Don't you agree that the air feels so nostalgic? The 80s, those weird-haired people wearing colorful clothes and having fun like there's no tomorrow. But I don't really care. It's not like we were both born in this decade. I must admit, I am truly disappointed. I was hoping you'd finally give up halfway, but you're like an insistent worm. Maybe I have to go deeper into your head if I really want to destroy you. So, it's time to have a little nostalgia. You remember him, don't you? But of course you remember. Look at him, so still, so silent, so smiling. It's a shame you killed him. What was it? I'm just telling the truth. Enough. Go ahead and die.
Three, two, one, go!
That first note is enough to give me PTSD. Well, it's time. Time for me to play this dreaded song once more. I'm not kidding you when I say that this song, this stupid and unfair song, is the reason why I took so long to make this video. I genuinely feel dread playing it. Not the good kind of horror dread, more like that unpleasant feeling when a car is crashing in front of you and you're biding time before it hits you. Technophobia is a literal car crash. Where do I even start with this stain of a chart? Okay, how about we start with the damage notes. These smiler notes do a minimal amount of damage compared to Stairways, but the difference is health drain. Technophobia has several parts of the song where Smiler lowers your health in tandem with his notes. It's been done before though, so why am I complaining? Well, it can kill you. What do I mean by this? Remember that one segment of expurgation at the end where you can't miss a single note or you die from the health drain? Yeah, imagine that for the entire song at 3 separate intervals, all in a non-optional song. Yeah, you get the absolute most hellish and unfun chart in FNF history. No hyperbole. This song is the reason why I wanted to make this video. I know, Mal. People complained about the original version of the mod being too easy. But, like, more than half of your fans liked that it was easy, including me. A Love Incident and OG Stairway, they're so fun and interesting, but this is not okay. And the cherry on top of the worst Sunday in human history, higher scroll speed than Stairway. Yeah, I'm done talking about this song. It gives me physical repulsion. This is the first of 2 songs I had to bot play to complete. And if you say it's because I had a skill issue, look through the past 6 paragraphs of filth that's burdened my brain for the last 3 weeks. Screw Technophobia. Can't even love the song anymore because it gives me PTSD to the 2 hours I spent trying to best it. You expect perfect inputs from me? I expect a perfect engine in return. Okay, now that that song is out of the way, things are going to be a lot more positive going forward. I genuinely have no problems with any of the rest of the songs but one. One stain that is somehow worse than Technophobia. We'll get there, don't worry.
Could you please explain how the fuck you still stand? This is becoming annoying. You should just fall and die. But somehow you keep coming back. If I really want to destroy you, then I will have to invade that small shit brain of yours through the front door. Oh, so that was the reason you joined that organization? I could use this. Let's try again. A long time ago, there was a young man. His objective was clear. Learn to play the piano. The reason you ask me? He wanted to impress a girl. She was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. Her long black hair, her pale and fragile body, and her smile. Oh, her smile. He loved everything about her. One day she listened to his notes, and embarrassed, he finally admitted his feelings. The young girl blushed and decided to give the boy a chance. And soon the two fell in love. Happiness reigned in their lives. Nonetheless, the show must go on. The public yearned for more and more. His skills have been recognized around the world, and the boy became a man. But inside him something began to grow, something terrible. The lust, the sound of the audience, the people clamoring for more and more. He became a monster. They fought. She begged him to stop, but he refused to listen. The man had destroyed everything he loved. He was now alone. Alone in the abyss that he himself created. How ironic was that? How stupid was that? His existence was no longer right. His life no longer made sense. The sea. How I hate the smell of the sea. How I hate the feeling of water on my bones. And even when his awareness had already faded, the sound didn't stop. The audience continued to yearn for more. They screamed your name. They screamed out of nostalgia. So, he gave them what they most wanted. A tragic story, don't you agree, Cerulean boy? I don't think I'll ever understand any of your words. Now, let's sing together.
Two, one, go!
This song is just sad. Makes me feel so depressed and just sad, you know, because Jenkins' story is one of the saddest in the entire mod. I feel so bad for him, and yet he deserves all of what was coming to him. He's just such a mixed individual. Okay. Anyway, the song, which is a really good chart. It has lots of hold notes, and not a lot separates it from the other trolls, but man, it's fun to play a normally difficult chart in this mod. The background changes, the transition from piano to him singing, the harmonized boyfriend vocals, all of it works together to make a really fun experience. The last song with no note gimmicks in the main story. Though that's not to say that this is the last good song, because...
You have no idea how fool you have been all this time for thinking it was all okay to sing with me without caring about anything. Now she is mine, and she is with me in the real world, and there is absolutely nothing that you can do. It's so cute to see how determined you are. If you want to get out of your own head, that's fine. But it's better not to regret it later.
One, go!
This is the best chart, no joke. I love this song so much. The chart is super fun, fair, not billion miles an hour scroll speed, yet not super easy with the screen shaking. It's real fun. Dirt becoming gradually more monstrous is super cool, and that beat drop when he transforms to the final form, it's so good. I have no complaints besides one that can be lodged to all of the mod, including modding as a whole. I have no idea if this is controversial, but please have damage notes be offbeat rather than on the same strum line. A great example of this is certain parts of Ectospasm and all of Evacuate from Friday Night Incident. It's just a personal preference. I love the idea of punishing those for going off rhythm. Overall, the song is incredible, my absolute favorite in the entire mod.
You know, I love stories. I personally consider myself a real connoisseur. Unfortunately, those people took me out of my world and didn't even give me a single book to read. Oh, don't you want to hear my magnificent sad monologue? Don't be impatient, little blue balls boy. The time we spent together was so much fun. Okay. You beat me, so I have to keep my part of the deal. Just don't regret it. She is right here. Isn't she beautiful? Look at her. These are the consequences of your actions. Now she is mine. She is only mine. And this is all your fault. Go.
Troll friend. Enough said. Okay, though, seriously, I have a few things to say. First off, the art in this song is especially incredible. It's really fluid, and Troll friend has some awesome animations. Second, the note gimmicks in this song are all fine but one, and another possibly controversial take here: stop adding note reversal as a gimmick. It's actually so irritating and barely any fun. Please stop doing it, okay, thanks. Thankfully, this mod uses it as a punishment for hitting a trap note, but at the same time, there were already 3 different gimmicks going on. Did we need a 4th? The other 3 gimmicks are as follows: the directions Troll friend says out loud, which all indicate different background shifts, the note that speeds up the scroll speed akin to Unknown Suffering, and the health drain similar to Derp, which triggers at select periods of the song. Now you might notice that I have bot play on, which might set off some warning lights, but don't worry. I wish I could try the song out, but my computer hates the background changes, so I'm sorry for the lag. By the way, this isn't the song I can't complete without bot play. That one is soon after. Oh yeah, fun fact, turn bot play on before this song because there's no way to pause. Thanks for making me waste an hour just waiting for bot play to get to this point. Thanks, Kay, love you, babe.
Two, one, go!
Nice song that you can only get halfway through before...
How how full you are. Did you really think you could save her? You lost. I know your world, and everyone in it belongs to me. Welcome back, honey. Where is your education? Maybe staying asleep for so long made you even bolder? What do you mean? We are all right here. Your friends, your family, your passion, and everyone in your world. Everyone. Everything. We are it. Just me. How stupid are you? Do you really think there's anything you can do? No.
This song. This is the best song in the mod. It's just so... I don't know how to describe it other than ominous. The song plays out like you're a jester to Legion. Best character, by the way. Super cool. As if you're just amusing him before he kills you. It's so, and I hate to use this word, but it's epic and sweeping. It just works so well as the final boss. And the mouse gimmicks are genuinely hellish in difficulty. It's so cool, man. I love this song so much. Now, I bet you're wondering, why am I not bashing it for its note gimmicks or the hellish difficulty of the mouse game? Well, it's because unlike a certain song that must not be evoked lest we all suffer, this song is completely optional, because it's impossible to complete in story mode. The only option here is to give up, which just hammers in the point that BF's infinite retries won't work here anymore. I think it was a genius move to add a song that's genuinely impossible to sort of coerce boyfriend into giving up. It's a cool idea. I like the execution too. Stop complaining about it, at least it's not as bad as Technophobia.
Finally got it. Yes. All of us. We are. Legion. We become one. And I became God. Now nothing and no one will forget me. All these mine. All these souls. Everyone is looking at me. Just at me. What is it? The sound stopped. The voices. Did the voices stop? Who are you? What is that sound? God, what have I done?
I didn't put this on the script, but it might be a little confusing what's happening here. That figure is known as the true Trollface, and he's restarting reality because he doesn't like that Legion tried to take his place. It's a little confusing, but you can read the wiki if you need a little bit more know-how.
Three, two, one, go!
Okay, for real this time. A nice song that perfectly encapsulates the idea that boyfriend can't live without girlfriend. I love that this mod's hinging plot is that boyfriend loves girlfriend and wants to escape back to reality to save her. It's the only mod I've ever seen that even cares about their relationship. It's super unique.
How did you do it? My plan was perfect. You were supposed to have lost, and I finally become a god. Who are you laughing at? Who are you calling pathetic? What is this I'm feeling? What is this feeling in my chest? What did you do to me? Do not approach. Please do not do this. Oh shit.
Now, I don't usually talk during cutscenes in these videos, but man, I gotta say, this is the best final cutscene of any mod. It is so satisfying to watch Legion slowly become more and more afraid of Boyfriend as he inches closer and closer until he belts out the loudest note ever and banishes him from this realm. It's honestly the best ending to this mod. I love it so much. And now for the unequivocally worst part of this entire mod. No, I'm not kidding. I may personally hate Technophobia more, but this is without a doubt the worst part. Go to the memories section and scroll to the very end, and you'll see a funny little guy named Trialface. Click on him, and watch. So funny, cause he's like a joke. It's so fun. It's not funny. The song is good and the chart is tough as nails, but at least it's optional? Yeah, sure. It's optional if you don't want access to, I don't know, the free play menu. I'm not kidding here. This near impossible and hellish culmination of all I hate about the mod has the balls to lock the free play menu behind its completion. This is the absolute worst choice you could have made. Honestly. It's fine if the song is optional, but you're locking away another song behind this, as well as the troll files, which is impossible to access without beating your mom. This is the worst decision in the mod, no doubt. Technophobia is my least favorite thing about the mod, but I can put that aside if it means I can call this out. Just give us free play after trying the song out once, please. This is the song I had to buy play. Are you surprised? Literally every single gimmick is in it at one point, and it's hell on earth. What did you expect?
One, go!
Somehow managed to beat the worst song in the mod, you get access to this. It's such a nice song. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but the chart is fun and the final messages are the best part. It's just a good song with fun charting. I'm glad this mod went all out with proving boyfriend and girlfriend's love for each other. It's real sweet. Some people are calling it cheesy, but hey, at least it's something different. Okay, now comes the absolute largest section of the video, the extras. I'm going to try to go through these as fast as possible because this script is already 5 pages long. I'll go in order with the memories and then the files.
Why? Why was I rejected? All I want is to be by your side. So why did you make that face when you saw me? You do not remember me. Don't you remember your own father? I got rid of all the things in our way so we could be together again. I tried hard to come here to talk to you. You hate me? Isn't it my fault? I know what I did. I know I hurt someone important to you.
Daddy Dearest, allegedly, who has now mourned the loss of his baby girl, finally sees her once again, and yet she doesn't recognize him, which causes him to internalize this as if there's something wrong with him and kicks off the event of the original week.
The voices. The voices don't stop. They tell me things. My doctor prescribed me some medicine to help me. But I don't want to take it. My plan is perfect. I can get this. If I do this, nothing and no one will be able to ignore me again. Yes, I know I can. I'll show everyone that I'm still capable. This will be the best show ever. The whole city will see. Everyone will fly.
A performer who, after feeling like people began to ignore him, decided to put on the grandest show of all, ignoring the words of his doctor to take his medication, to fly using oil on his skin, since we all know oil goes on top of water, and it was about to rain.
I hear the sound. That deep sound of footsteps in the middle of the forest. Even though I've long since lost the ability to sleep, I still have nightmares about that day. That crimson sunset. I will never be able to forget. The sound. The screams. They still make me shiver just remembering. Now I'm here. Right here. I feel like I'm close to finding him. I remember your face well. No matter how long they try to hold me here, no matter how hard they try to rid me of my own body, I will find the man in the hat. Even if I spend all eternity sitting there, he will come to me. Sometime, he will come to me.
I'll be honest, I barely understand what he's talking about. I'm guessing it'll all make sense if I go to the files, but I won't do that yet. All I know is that someone is haunting him, someone he hates.
Pain. I feel pain. Why am I alive? Why do I feel so much pain? And those voices. Why do they want me to do these things? I should be dead. I made sure of it. Then why? Why? What is it? That music. That. It's mine. Who is listening to my music? Who? I hate this sound. I will stop this sound.
After the loss of his girl, he tried to kill himself, but something either within him or Legion kept him alive, which he obviously hates since he tried to kill himself in the first place. Eventually, the voices tell him to continue performing until he hears a noise and wants to stop that noise for good.
I already forgot how much time has passed. When did I get here? How long have I wandered in this vacant land? I don't know. I don't even know anymore. This place is so weird. Bomb-headed men. Talking TVs. I feel stupid for stopping right here. And the worst thing for me is that I don't feel able to use my own powers properly. I don't know where I'm going, but the closer I get, the more this unsettling feeling in my chest expands. There is something here that is like that prison, an agent. I don't know who, and I don't know where, but I will find you. That's it? Dad, dearest? Interesting.
Being questions where he is as he feels his powers are out of whack, and gets more and more unsettled while here in reality. To a point he calls it a feeling in his chest, until he sees, allegedly, Daddy Dearest, and chuckles before the clip ends. The files are very dense and very descriptive, so I'll try to summarize them as much as I can. Through the power of others loving his music and the influence of T-cells, the musician Jenkins soon came back as a Trollich codenamed the Exalted, with the ability of summoning knives, super speed, and to control gravity. After he was sighted killing several people, TCF sent agents to stop him, and after a duet of some sort, he gave himself up, only to be expunged from reality by his own choice shortly after. Beforehand, he came into contact with a redacted name, and soon came to like him, so much to a point that Redacted was allowed to expunge him from reality, putting him out of his misery. Enigmatic individual codenamed the Desire came into contact with T-cells. This individual only wanted to know the whereabouts of his fiancée at the time, only for a redacted name to give him a photograph of his fiancée strapped to a chair with her face ripped off, leaving a bloody sight. He was then told that he was wearing a redacted name's fiancé's face, but before anything happened, a redacted name hit him with a steel pipe, knocking him into a coma he's yet to wake up from. An individual known by his codename as Corruptus began to seek revenge for an unknown incident, isolating himself to plan, only for him to come into contact with T-cells, ultimately growing more powerful and gaining the ability of replicating life. He caused an intentional genocide while continuing to plan for his ultimate revenge. However, his revenge failed, and with this, he became an ever-growing threat that wouldn't stop growing in power, to a point where he obtained otherworldly knowledge he could barely handle. Corruptus continued to grow more and more in power, but he proved to be unable to handle it, as he tried to suppress it only for it to grow too much and result in his self-destruction. TCF agents were not sent due to the nature of the incident. Individual, for some reason, came into contact with a redacted substance. Most assumed that after his murder, he was dumped into a river by a redacted name, which resulted in an alter ego of himself, the Overseer, that he originally abandoned before eventually succumbing to it. After the death of one of his family members, he went on into a killing rampage in the thousands. Madman proceeded to do something unknown, causing an unknown incident and its destruction. The fate of the Madman is currently unknown, as he ended up coming into contact with a redacted name, resulting in fatal injury and his retreat. Manuscripts show he was capable of manipulating the sights you see and causing hallucinations, all while adopting an internet troll type of behavior. See the actual full files for context. The Madman is currently not being pursued by TCF, as he seems to be much more enigmatic than them all. Being originally known as the Baritone came into contact with a redacted substance. During a family reunion, a reaction was started as a consequence of said contact, creating what is now known as the Maestro. The Maestro in turn eventually had contact with a redacted name, and ended up being found by another redacted name. The encounter ended with the Maestro being contained by TCF. For some unknown reasons not stated in the files, the two split into two separate beings again, both being contained. Even without its host, the Maestro remained, despite all known science saying it shouldn't be possible. It was aggressive with any scientist or agent that interacted with it, except for when one day they decided to let the baritone meet up with the maestro. They began to have some dialogue before laughing it off. It was then reported that in a few hours, the room went silent and the agents were greeted by the baritone crying in front of an empty bottle. No more contact was made with the baritone. The individual, known by his codename as JJ, was found in a basement locked up with dozens of children, all of which were filled with extreme paranoia. The Foundation asked questions to nearby adults only for the timelines to be confused. What is known is that children were found dead in a forest, and that a local clown had taken children into a basement. Every time an adult encountered JJ, he'd activate his abilities and cause so much fear and paranoia that they'd hallucinate, leading to insanity and then death. After several failed attempts, JJ is now locked up in a small metal cage due to the nature of his abilities. There was no way to transport him, so he stayed in his reality for an extended period of time. After several failed interviews, the Foundation decided to take off a blindfold they placed on him to prevent his abilities. They had a talk about what evil is, and in his opinion, evil isn't a vague concept. It's people like you that are evil. He proceeded to use his abilities and ended up causing several deaths. They locked him up, and since then, he slowly entered a vegetative state, beyond salvage. The individual known by his codename as The Smiler was first discovered when several accounts of a skeletal man with black skin and a white face were made to the TCF. The same people said he was carrying a garbage bag with what looked like a body inside. Authorities found out the body was a male in his 20s. They sent an agent known as a redacted name to obtain more information. The encounter ended with him contained, and the link between him and the male in his 20s was made more clear. The files did not specify this link. During a regular talk show, in the midst of all the laughter, the cameraman all of a sudden went to the host and slashed his throat open. This wouldn't be anomalous, as hitmen and assassinations are very common in the show industry. But the problem was that the individual showed signs of him being in stage 2 of a redacted state, which caught the attention of TCF, who swiftly sought to contain him. The individual, now known by his codename Tall Man, exhibited no aggression and simply thought they were all playing the game. They eventually got him to talk, and the Foundation grew to like him. He joked and joshed about agents' personal lives, events they never told Tall Man, which told them that he most likely had some sort of psychic ability. Shortly after, he escaped. The individuals who came into contact with him began to show signs of psychosis and signs of the stages of a redacted state, similar to those who came into contact with a redacted substance. Afterwards, he was discovered again by Agent Blueballs, who gave them more information about him, including his new codename, Legion. Okay, now that we're done with that part, it's time for the concepts, which unlock after beating Daisuke. All of them are just early designs for certain characters like JJ and Derp and of course Legion, but they're all so cool. I love it when mods show off the concept. It's a great idea. Final thoughts. I went into the script thinking I'd just be bashing it the whole time, but no, it really was just Your Mom, Technophobia, and the gimmicks of some songs. The 3 stinkers in an otherwise near-perfect mod. I'm genuinely surprised at the amount of information the mod has. Entire backstories to characters who barely got any screen time, files of individuals who never even show up, references to the other Trollface mods. It's just so cool. I just wish Technophobia was slightly better in that Your Mom wasn't locking free play behind it. Otherwise, this mod is near perfection. I take back what I've said on Twitter because a easier mode isn't really needed. Just a few tweaks to some of the worst parts of the mod. Say, lower the scroll speed in Technophobia, make the Your Mom song actually optional, and you have a certified masterpiece 9.5 out of 10. But with it and the amount of suffering and anger Technophobia in Your Mom has caused me, it's currently a 7.5 out of 10. I love this mod, Malicious Bunny, but there's a few things you can iron out to make this the best mod in FNF history. This video wasn't a rant, or it wasn't trying to be, it was more like a critique in my eyes, which I admit was a bit hard to tell in the angrier parts in this video. The truth is, I want to love this mod with all of my heart, but there's two massive tumors of problems holding it back. I might genuinely put a team together to fix those parts of the mod because, hey, if Malicious Bunny won't do them, I bet we could. And one last thing. If you're watching this, Malicious Bunny, I want you to know that you've crafted an exquisite universe. I just have a problem with the gameplay. The world you made is so fascinating, and I'd love to see more of it in the future. Please do something with it, or give permission to do stuff with it. I know you've given permission to other Trollface mods, but please, I need to see more of this universe. Next up is a big one. Not as dense as this script, but still a lot. The Versus Manco mod. A mod about Team Fortress 2 and its characters. And unlike this video, there's no big gimmick or song holding it back. We're gonna go fully positive for the next one. No ranting. I'm just gonna be the positive, normal guy that I always am.
Okay, bye.